Hello everyone, Time Rover here, and welcome to the start of a new series for Captain of Industry, where we're taking a look at the beta version 0.3.0a, to be exact. The beta for Captain of Industry was released today, on December 21st, and so our previous alpha look is going to be retired, and we're going to start a brand new one here. So here are the patch notes. I'm not going to read through all of them, but you can pause and take a look as we go down through lots different maps, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. Were added, so no longer the base map. The base map is there, the one that all alpha games were on, but they've added, I believe, 3 others, if memory serves correctly, but we'll take a look at those. Some different balancing things and tweaks here or there, mining and dumping, different game difficulties as well, which we'll take a look at. You can now set general priority for each machine and building. That infects various different things. Very useful there. And again, some other design options here or there. And one thing that did get changed is the quick build no longer cheats new material. It was changed to quick delivery, so it instantly delivers missing material that the player already has, but it doesn't allow you to bypass material using Unity, which I get. That's entirely fine. Oh, and there's also a already discovered village, and we have a new trading dock building that we can sort of help gain resources as needed, and a bunch of new content here, tweaks to some chains, and some balancing and some other fixes. So we'll be going through these and taking a look at what's new as we build our new colony here. So let's go ahead and hit new game. It is worth noting that there is now some music, but because this is YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and just make that 0%, just to avoid any strikes. But the game does now come with some music, which is lovely. Did that save? Yes, it did. Perfect. Okay, let's hit new game. So here, New Haven is the original map that we are used to seeing. It is a standard map, a balanced map, great for beginners and casual players alike. Then we've got the beach, which is a more advanced map, a slightly more advanced map that may require some extra planning. It has a little description here. We've got the Golden Peak. This is difficult. And this one, yeah, definitely does look difficult here. Again, more little descriptions, and then You Shall Not Pass. Really challenging by the looks of it. And you can pause to read these descriptions. We are going to be focusing on the beach. I thought about doing New Haven since I have sort of a, since we were just playing that. And I have a general layout that I feel like was working. And one of the biggest things for me when I'm playing these games is knowing my layout. And unfortunately, unlike this playthrough, my alpha playthrough, I'm not devoting a lot of pre-recording time to sort of develop my layout, because I want to get this up and going during this period of time that I have right now. So we are going to go ahead and jump into the beach. Starting on a sandy beach, there is plenty of space to build a factory, but farms cannot be built on sand. So the challenge is with their constrained placement. Another challenge is that there is not much space to build cargo docks, and the main island has tall mountains around the perimeter, so one will need to either make an artificial reef or use space further out. Very interesting. We're going to see how things go. But yeah, I have really no build in mind, so we're sort of winging it. I did test play a little bit of time, but not much. Basically just to get the initial production up and running. So we'll go from there. But the later stuff, yeah, I have no idea. So we're going to be playing that off the cuff. Let's go with game difficulty. Boom. It's worth noting that we could modify this, but I'm just going to like some of these things like resource size, forest size, cliffs. But we're going to just let these be as their standard default values. There is a game difficulty now, so we can do Sailor, we got Captain, and we got Admiral. We're just going to stay on the default Captain and not really mess with anything else. There is a game seed now, but this doesn't impact map generation, like the actual map itself. What this will impact are randomizations that are now used for weather generation and the world map layout. So unlike in the alpha run where the world map was basically the same. Every playthrough, I believe, had the exact same layout of their world map. You can now randomize that as well as weather generation effects. But again, this does not affect the map. The maps are static. So we're going to go ahead and launch the new game here. So very much looking forward to checking out the new content in the beta phase. If you are interested in knowing more about this game, check in the description below. You can gain access to the beta. I believe it's still a thing. If you go to their website and basically back the project, it's not quite yet out on early access. But there are ways of gaining access to the beta, or at least there were previously. So you can check out their website for more information on how to pledge for, like, basically back the game early, and you can get your access. And I believe was it March, I think, when was the plan for early access, if memory serves. So there. Okay, here's our welcome captain. Captain, we are just docked. This has changed a little bit from my understanding here. We've got blast furnace is the same, research lab is the same, although there's a lower tier research lab, I believe. So we'll be taking a look there. And a friendly village you can trade with is nearby. We should probably start creating or make a trading dock sooner rather than later if we want to start trading. In my test game, I didn't really trade. I didn't use the trading dock much. I mean, ideally, we don't really need to do that. So we'll have to wait and see. What next? What next? Okay, so here's our map. Let's zoom out, get a little bit better look. So we've got a big sandy beach area to build in. There was some added stuff that you can mine, some added minerals, including limestone, which limestone is over here. It's a little hard to eyeball see it. I had to like use the layers. So if we pop back into build mode and hit the layers and then pop into view mode, you can see this is now limestone. It is a new resource that we can mine, and it's used in, if my memory serves correctly, concrete. So we'll be doing that as well fairly early, and we'll see why. Here's our deposit of iron ore. You can see it's a lot less visible. That's one other thing I believe that they had changed, is the deposits are going to have some dirt on top of them, whereas in the previous map you had a huge supply of ore above ground and you didn't really have to deal with the dirt and the slag and so on and so forth. Not much here. You still have just a tiny bit, but it's something, so you're going to have to sort of manage that. Our coal deposit is going to be over here. There's also a coal deposit way up here, but that coal deposit is pretty far away from us being able to get to it. So yeah. Then there is also our little oil patch right here, right near our little village. And I've been trying to think to myself if we're going to move this village somewhere, but I don't know. More on that later. And then this here, we have sand all around us. But obviously the most highly concentrated sand is over in this area. So we're going to probably look to make our sand mining operation over here and go with that. But yeah, and as you can see, we can't build farms on sand. So our area of farmability will be over here in this general location. Now, excuse me, I believe, well, let's go ahead and plop down and get things started, because we will have to talk about where we're going to plop farms in the near future. But for right now, we do not have the ability to get any farms going. So I'm going to get rid of these trees right here, first and foremost, and then we'll probably look to get rid of these trees over here. So let's do that, because I have a general vague idea because of my test run how I'm going to set up my farms, and that's pretty much it. All right, let's start recycling these. We are going to need to get down our usual things to get us going here. We're going to need a blast furnace. So again, I'm just going to build this temporary blast furnace over by our initial source of material. We're going to just go like that. And we're going to need a coal maker. Before we do that, I like that they made a waste management area and put the smokestack in there. So the smokestack used to be in with metallurgy and smelting, but that's not the case anymore, which is very nice. And wait. Okay, that is correct. I wanted it that way. Lovely. Okay, and then over here, yeah, this is gonna be flipped around. Voila. No, that's not correct. Let's try that again. Let's hit F, and now we can flip it around. Perfect, because I want the exhaust to be right up against the exhaust fumer. What's this called? The smokestack. And go with that. All right, we're going to lay down some piping. Boom. And boom. And again, this is going to get torn up like last time in our alpha playthrough. We are going to move this production probably closer to the iron at some point. But for right now, we just want it close to the abandoned communications area so that we can tear it apart and build new. What else do we need over here? Metal caster, of course, of course. So I'm going to use a similar-ish setup to what we did before. Is it this way? Is this what I want? No. Let's go this way, since I have the coal maker along there. Now I am going to keep my usual spacing, just in case we want to do some shenanigans over here with piping and whatnot. I don't think we will, but might as well plan it that way in case we do. So we go to transport. All we got to begin with are pipes and molten channel. We don't have any belts yet. And in fact, the belts aren't going to come until fairly later, actually. Okay, that is that. Now, let's grab under buildings a research lab. So this is the tier 1 research lab. And this was, I believe, added. Yeah, well, do I want to do it over there? Because this could be our dock. Nah, I think what I'll do is I'll just level this off area over here, and we'll use that. The other dock that we haven't researched yet can fit into this little area here, so I'm just going to let that be. I'm going to prioritize the research lab here. Let's go ahead and add in a tree harvester. So if I click on this little truck up here, brings up my vehicle management, and we can then say we've got 7 total trucks. We've got sort of 6 that are just doing their thing. And then we've got tree harvesters specifically. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tree harvesters for now. All right, research lab is ready. We need to set some research. So we need to get some food going. So let's go ahead and start that. I do want the storage. So we're going to get the storage up and running, followed by construction, followed by mining. I think this is going to be a good flow here. Yeah, because mainly the storage I want next, because we're gonna need to clear a lot of space over here for our farms, and well, not a lot, but some. And I'm also going to boost our coal maker. And the main reason for that is I just want to get through a lot of these trees. In fact, we're going to go ahead and just keep loading up on trees here. Let's get rid of these as well. All right, smelting is up. You are going. So yeah, with storage units, we can start storing wood and we can start storing iron. Otherwise, these will start to back up. And that is not going to be stupendous here. All right, let's go to fast speed. In fact, all right, we're not really doing anything with our trucks, so let's just load up on trucks that are, well, we do need one to move materials, but otherwise, let's just get all of these trees brought down. That will give us a little bit more room to work with when it comes to our fields. All right, basic farming is done. That unlocks a farm. So we're going to want to get this up and running. Now, I played around with different options here. This area needed to be done first, but that's just going to be okay, I think. All right, we are going to flip this around because I thought about doing a couple different things. In the other playthrough, we did sort of a just a line like bup 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 bup, and I thought about doing that in this playthrough as well. But the problem is this little alcove here. To do what I did last time, we just didn't have enough space, or at least enough space without having to take out all of these trees. And I didn't want to waste that much time dealing with the tree situation. So what I'm gonna do instead is something like this. Now I'm gonna try to line this up and go with sort of what I was going for in my solo game, or my practice round. I'm gonna try to do this. We're gonna do something like that, and then on this side, we're going to do something similar, but mirrored. So we'll get there. But basically, we're going to do this. All right, 1, 2, 3. I think I was leaving 2 spaces, if memory serves, because what I want is for a belt. Well, let's do this proper. Is a belt coming this way? Again, that's just marking that where my future belt is going to be. And then I want enough space at this belt for a ramp over here. And the way I measure ramps is by using my little blast furnace here to give just enough space for that ramp. And hopefully that hasn't changed because that would be bad. And then here. There we go. And that actually worked out fairly well, actually. And then we'll have another one up here. And then mirrored over here. And the way I'm planning this is we will then belt the food down into our settlement. Either over here, or we move all of this over there. I haven't decided yet. Moving is kind of expensive because we only get 60 construction part 1s back from these, and we spend 80. So we would lose 40 construction part 1s in moving this, or at least that's what that move would cost us. Which I am not sure I want to do that, but well, and that's also assuming this as well. So that's going to cost 20, and we probably only get 15. So that's not as bad to move. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to pause this, and then we're going to focus on tearing down trees that get in this way first, because we are going to want to get these up and running fairly quickly. Just do something like that as our priority. And then, yeah, you're going to get built first. And you're going to do potatoes and green manure. You're going to go green manure and potatoes. There we go. Perfect. All right, so we'll work for one farm for right now. What are we researching? Okay, construction parts. All right, trading dock. So yeah, I would probably. There's something to be said about doing construction second, and you know that could be something. But no, I'm happy with this. We'll get our storage area up and running, and then we won't be backing up on certain things. So over here, I want some storage units. Let's put down, what do you need for this? You're ultimately going to need slag and whatnot, but that's going to come over here. Maybe, do I want to put it over here? No, I kind of want it over here. No, because this is... let's do it. Let's put it over here. That's going to be fine. Plop and plop-ish. You are going to be wood, and you are going to be iron. Thank you very much. And again, this will all get moved at some point. You're going to go and drop down to there. Get a few more trucks building now that we are sort of starting that process. So there, we've got the quick delivery now, so we can spend Unity to quickly bring all the resources needed over and build it instantly, which is nice. But it's not as, I guess, gamey as the last one. Although in the last one, that option was there. If you had the resources, it would use the resources. If you didn't, you would just have to spend more Unity to do that. But that's not even an option anymore. So lovely. Okay, so we are starting to get iron. We're starting to bring in wood. So we're happy with that. Let's go and plop down our assembler now. And I'm just going to build this assembler over here. Boom. So that we don't run out of construction parts 1. Because I did in my first sort of like just practice go around, I forgot to build this and ran out of construction parts 1. And I tried to build the trading area, the trade depot, which if we show the docks here, so I can squeeze in a trade depot right here. And I tried to do that to resolve my issue because I had 12 construction parts, but when this thing was built, there was no way of trading for construction parts, only raw materials. I could spend construction parts to get other materials, but that's about it. I'm going to delete this because I don't know why you still can't pause these. Kind of annoying. I hope they add that in future builds. Assembly is done. You are starting that into power. Sure. Into concrete. They did change how copper refinement worked. You no longer need acid, which is good. Just need impure copper and water to get refined copper. So they basically took the diesel aspect out of the equation with copper, which was always a bit of a rough spot. So we may go right into copper refinement, because we can then just start this process with some water. We'll add that, go into this, the beacon, and then go into diesel. All right, you're producing. Lovely. You are going to give us some food, which is also lovely. I am going to go ahead and unpause this farm now. And we are at fast speed. Did you actually build this? Oh well. That was a waste of resources. Oops. It won't be the last oops of this playthrough. So the goal with the farms is we're going to have 4 farms again. At least in the alpha, that was enough to get you far in the game. I never did make it to the point where I had to actually make more farms, even in the solo game where I got pretty far. Now, I don't know how that's been, if that's been rebalanced or anything like that, so we'll have to see. But I'm going to have a square, and then we're going to have to do, we're going to have the line in here. And the main reason I chose to put the pickup, basically, of food on the inside is because the transport belts are a bit more expensive than pipes. So we will have to pipe around the triangle, or not triangle, around the square in order to get fertilizer and water. Well, water and then eventually fertilizer. But piping doesn't require power. The conveyor belts do. And so I'm just sort of trying to avoid having to make a lot of belts. Now, we will eventually have one long belt, which I'm not a big fan of. Again, I think I want to move our settlement. We'll have to wait and see. Okay. Let's go and put it on slow speed, and let's get coal going. If we take a look at mining designations, we're going to do something like we did last time, where we're just going to mine the surface deposits first. And I'm just going to go ahead and just put a job in over here. And try to do this somewhat correctly so we don't have too much spillover. And there. I'll do that for now. And then over here, let's plop you in. I found there was a good spot just in these trees, like right here. And then we'll edit this area. I think you can get this all this in. There we go. Perfect. We're going to need a vehicle area as well. So let's build this. I'm going to prioritize the vehicle bay here. All right, and you are building, you are this. Once we set up the coal, we can turn that off. All right, you are coming online. Excellent. And here's the priority system, so we can prioritize what buildings get power and serviced and so on and so forth. We are going to need a small extractor, so let's go ahead and get that started. Now, we do need the beacon, but the beacon requires power, so we gotta, get that set up. That being said, it would be nice to have the basic diesel, but we do have some diesel in there, so I think we can hold off on creating our own for right now. Eventually, we will want to sort of start that after the beacon goes down, because once we start using the power and using our diesel, that diesel's going to go fairly quickly. Of course, we are already using diesel. In fact, we're using more than probably on the other map because our trucks have to go a lot farther. Speaking of trucks, our queue's okay, so I don't feel the need to... Well, I take that back. We are going to assign an excavator, and we're going to assign 2 trucks. And because of that, let's go ahead and build 2 trucks. Now, you, my friend, are going to focus on coal. Please and thank you. Are we getting close to getting water? Yeah, after power, we're going to start getting our water up and running. Yeah, there's our queue, which is getting pretty large, but this will help that. Getting those 2 extra trucks. So this, now we should be able to turn this off and not use the wood for coal making. So I'm going to go ahead and just say, you know what? Imports are off on this. We'll just say that. We'll use the materials that are in there already, the wood that's in there, but no more shipments. And once those shipments have ended, we will turn that thing off, and then we no longer need to worry about it. I will. How are we doing on this? All right, we still got plenty of scrap and whatnot here. I might boost. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead. Yeah, we're going to need the extra one anyway, at least for now. We're going to go ahead and build that. It'll be good. So one blast furnace can pretty much feed two metal casters. I just built one just because of resource conservation early on, but we can afford to do it now. That's not going to be a problem. We have way too many people on forestry stuff. So we can probably trim you back. What are we waiting on? Ah, right. Okay, we got power. So let's go ahead and think on power situation. So our initial oil is going to be over here. We have two options. We can produce the diesel over here and then pipe the diesel to our main area and store it. Or we can just produce the diesel here and pipe our oil. Either way, we're going to need to pipe something. And because we don't have the fluid storage yet, we don't have actual basic diesel, we're going the copper refinement route first. I think the best option is to just pipe our oil over here. And that's what I'm going to do. Where we're going to produce this, I have no idea. I guess what we could do, although we're not out of the woods yet, but I'm wondering if we just move our citizens. Is that going to be too radical of an idea? I mean, I'm just wondering if it's impractical to belt the food all the way over here. I feel like it is. But there's not much room because I want this to be sand mining. Now that just leaves this little tiny area. So I could move this over here, but that's not that much of a change. Decisions. No, I think we'll keep it where it is. We might do something with belts and food and storage and whatnot, but I think for now we're just gonna leave it there. So let's start things off. Let's get a generator down just so we can start powering areas. Do we actually have anything with power yet? No, because we haven't gotten the beacon. You know what? I'm going to switch this around. We're going to go beacon first, into copper refinement, into basic diesel. And hopefully not get screwed from that. You then are going to get built. Not right there. That was a misclick. I'm going to build you right here. These will eventually get torn down anyway, so I'm not going to be too concerned about it. But this way we can at least get some power going. And once the beacon is done, we can then power said beacon. Alright, you need a place for wood storage. Let's drop in, let's drop in one of those and say this is going to be wood storage because I do want to get this stuff cleared out. Once we have enough for a third, metal caster, once we have enough for a third field, I'll feel a little bit happier. Wrong one. Blast furnace is the width, like that. Let's pause you and grab you. Do I have enough? No, I don't. What about over here? No. But tell you what, let's stop this and focus on this stuff. Please and thank you. And we can also trim this back to just one, because we have plenty of people at this point. We have plenty of stored up wood for the time being. And yeah, let's plop you right there. And we will pause you for now. And cancel that. All right. Beacon is done. Let's plop that down. How do I want to plan this out? Like that. And you can just get tucked in right there. Focus on the beacon. Oh, we need trees. All right, so let's clear out these trees. This can pretty much be done in any order now. So I don't need the fourth field for a little bit, so actually I take that back. Let's go ahead and clear out this area. And you can, okay, you are working, so that is fine. So we can now start to get populations, which is actually a good thing. Maintenance is also going to be a thing, so I'm going to throw that down. We're going to put you right here. Or are we? No, that's fine. We'll put you up here, actually. There. So this is a basic maintenance depot. So it is a tier 0, so to speak, and was added with the beta patch here. All right, so you're going to create a little bit of maintenance. So that is fantastic. You can probably start your production at this point. I think that's going to be fine and great. All right, where are we at with this? Yeah, let's get our other mining operations going. So let's get iron. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to start on this end. And just come along here. Go there and to there. Get a mine control tower. We'll face it that way. Edit area. Can you... No, you're not going to be able to get that big. I thought... do we want to put this somewhere else? Nah, we'll keep it as is. Do something like that for now. And we're going to need an excavator and 2 trucks. All right, new refugees have arrived. Let's turn this off. So that brought us some additional resources as well as population, which is really nice. We are working on copper refinement. And then we're going into basic diesel. So we're going to need to do that, but I think that's going to have to wait for next time. As well as copper refinement. Now, where is the nearest copper? That's up here. Yeah, that's pretty darn far. Ugh, there's just going to be a lot more travel time for our trucks on this map. Little extra challenge there. So I'm wondering where we're going to put our production chains. I mean, obviously iron is going to be up here. But do we make the copper over here? And then bring it in? Yeah, I'm going to have to think on that. Probably. We're probably going to want our initial copper production up here, as opposed to just bringing all the raw resources. So we'll have to see how that goes. All right, we're gonna end this episode here. Not a bad start. Not too shabby. We will next time look to get the iron ore fully hooked up, as well as limestone. And we'll talk about why we need limestone next time, but basically concrete. And we'll get our copper production going, most likely. And potentially diesel as well, but a little less inclined to get that up right away. Might be our third episode, but we'll see how things go. If it finishes, we might look to get diesel going, because we are going to be eating through quite a bit. But again, this is the end of the episode. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you're going to enjoy this series, this look at the beta for Captain of Industry. If you do, please let me know by hitting that like button. Always important for new video series here. And if you want to see more content, I strongly encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you next time, folks. Bye-bye.